Hello, everyone, and welcome to what episode is this? 13 now? Are we on 13 now, Justin? I think 13.
I guess so. Damn.
Well, at least our title says 13. So, welcome to episode 13 of GG Weekly Podcast. I, of course, am Chris, the real Darth Guy, and with me I have Justin Baggy Noodle Arms. How are you doing today, Justin?
Doing great. As I told you before the show, pretty busy day. Woke up, stream, clean the house, talk about Destiny, and then stream again with you.
Very, very nice. You trying to stream a little bit more during the daytime? As I've tried to push you into a little bit, like, hey man, you should stream during the day and let me know how it goes.
Yeah, I've talked about it 1,000 times. So I told you just a second ago, I didn't tell you what times, but the goal is to do the 2 times a day.
Okay.
On my personal stream every day except Wednesday, not including weekends, and then Wednesday would be once on my channel and once here, obviously.
Okay.
And it was gonna be wake up at like 9ish and go live.
9
We'll
Eastern.
probably wake up at 8. Wake up at 8. You know, eat breakfast, maybe go for a run. Stream at 9. End at 1.
Okay.
And then go again in the evening, and that time wasn't figured out. That's the evenings, like when I play again, I'll be on. So that was the goal. I haven't been able to fix my sleep schedule yet, so I've been going live at about 2 p.m. Eastern every day ish, and it's been good. You know, I'm little
really
different people.
Yeah, so I'm really curious about like the difference between daytime streaming versus, you know, what a lot of us do, the nighttime and / weekend warrior streaming. You know, I'm real curious what the crowd is like, or like if it's different to grow, like just how it, you know, works in a way. I'm really curious, and you got to let me know if it actually works out or doesn't.
For sure.
You know,
I'd say so far the cool thing is like you are live when, like you said, most of the other people aren't live. Right. You also have a little more options of people to raid because everybody starts going live when you're done.
But
it's the opposite too. Not as many people are going to raid you because unless they streamed like at 5 in the morning or something, they're probably not going to be live to even be able to raid you.
Right. It's almost like you're changing your competition of other streamers from like your normal group of like, I guess for lack of a better term, like friends, if you will, versus like the full-time streamers in a way.
Right.
Like you're up against a Lupo or a Tim because they're streaming during the daytime, and you're like, hey, come watch me instead, because
I'm clearly better.
But that's cool. I'm really excited for at least knowing or hearing what's going on in that time slot, because I've always been curious. I'm like, you know, how would my streaming life change if I was streaming during the day versus during the nighttime, when, you know, because the majority of small streamers like us, they have to stream at night because they have the daytime thing going on or whatever. So you're in a lucky situation where you get to experiment a little bit. I'm kind of envious, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of get, you know, both scenarios. I feel like you get a lot of lurkers because in the daytime, I get a lot of people popping in being like, hey, I'm at work. You know, I got some downtime right now. I can say hi. And then they kind of disappear because they probably have work to do at their job. And then at night, you get the people gaming or eating dinner or whatever, and they're kind of in and out too. It's like kind of the same. Yeah. Just different. They're doing a different task. They're working instead of, I don't know, gaming or playing dinner, eating dinner.
And watching. Yeah. They're working and watching, which probably, let's be honest, they probably pay more attention when they're working and watching than when they're gaming and watching, right? Because I know that when I'm gaming, like if I'm in a match, I am not responding. I'm not paying attention whatsoever. And if I'm working and watching, I'm probably paying more attention to like what you're saying. If you're engaging with the chat, you know, whatever's going on in the stream. I don't know. It's just it's a different.
I agree.
Aspect, if you will, because we all want to slack off when we're working, but we don't really want to slack off when we're having fun, right?
When we're gaming, yeah, we can't slack off.
Gotta be that try hard, the sweaty try hard, right?
But yeah, I'll keep trying some new stuff. I'll let you and the podcast know my results. It's one person, but interesting to try.
That's a bigger test. What am I trying? Bigger test case than I can give. So that'll be very interesting in my opinion. Because I've always wondered, like I said, how would it be different if? Because you see on on Twitch or not Twitch, Twitter. I always switch those two for some reason. You see on Twitter all the time, and you see on Reddit, or at least I see on Reddit all the time because I peruse around there. People are always like, "Should I quit my job and go full-time streaming?" And everyone's like, "No,
yes,
no,
yes, do it right now."
You should totally quit. Do you have
streaming
enough money
has the
saved
best
up?
health insurance. It's got the best benefits, all the vacation
it's a
time you
guaranteed
need.
Paycheck, like you'll be good. Are you affiliated?
And all that's false, by the way. Just in case anyone isn't sure.
That is us completely memeing. Yeah, right.
You can take any day off you want. That is a real plus.
Yeah, you're your own boss.
Right, you are your own boss. No one will tell you can't take the day off or go to the bathroom or whatever you need to do. So
right. So you've been playing anything new or anything interesting? Excited about any games? I ask because you posted, and it's National Video Games Day. Apparently.
Yeah, this morning I woke up. Twitter said National Video Game Day was trending, so I poked around. It was kind of just people saying their favorite games or whatever. Yeah. I haven't been playing anything new. I've been obsessed with Destiny. I tweeted about it. I'm like full-blown addicted. I was playing before, as you all know, but I am like staying up till 4 doing raids with people I don't even know, and I'm like loving it.
I'm actually very happy that you're saying that, because I want to say it was like episode 5, 6, somewhere in that range, where you were like, I'm really kind of disappointed with the current season of Destiny right now, and the community's kind of disappointed in it. And it's even though I'm not a Destiny player and I don't have that same passion for that game that you do, I know the feeling of being like completely ingrained in the game that you want to play at the moment, like, or the game that you love so much. So that's a cool thing to have. Like my game of choice right now is Call of Duty, which not exactly a lot of people's favorite game, but it's something that I'm enjoying a lot, and I've been playing in a lot of tournaments and just continuously trying to get better, because I don't know, I guess if my son was to say what kind of gamer I am, he'd probably say I'm a tryhard or a sweat or whatever. I'm always trying to be better at the game, and always trying to have many more wins, or like, I don't know, it's just if I'm gonna play a game, I always try to be good at the game.
It's good to try to improve. I know some people are really good at like focusing. So the best way to improve in a game, from what I'm told, what I read, is like you pick one thing that you're gonna practice for a week: positioning, or aim, or call outs, or you pick one thing and you work on it until you actually think you're good at it. I'm not good at that, because I don't have the attention span to like decide I'm gonna pick one. My
for
buddy
a whole
Hath,
week you're
yeah. We have Hath in chat. He's actually good at that. That's something he's into. So maybe he could give you a tip or two. But so those type of things. I mean, I do it a little bit, like I'll start being like, okay, I got to do more call outs, and I'll do that a little bit. But some people, like, they'll literally fly into a map by themselves, and they'll like check the lay of the land, figure out the best spots to hang out, like, because there's many ways to improve besides shooting. Like,
right. I mean, you'll be as good as your reaction time allows you to be in shooting. Right. To a certain extent. Yeah, you can get a little bit better here and there, but for the most part, let's say your reaction time's pretty much going to be your reaction time. A lot of it's going to come down to map knowledge, callouts, teamwork, things like that. So I can agree with that. Back in the day, I think I talked about this on another episode earlier. Me and my buddies decided that we were going to go to MLG Columbus, Major League Gaming. They run Call of Duty, or they used to run Call of Duty tournaments. Now Call of Duty runs them themselves. But we were going to go down to this place, and we were going to enter in and expect to lose the first match to a group of kids because they're way faster than us, kind of a thing. But we never actually ended up making it down to MLG Columbus, which was an unfortunate side. But what it did do is it gave us the focus to where when we got together, it wasn't just us arbitrarily gaming together and everyone kind of doing their own thing. We all came together to be like, okay, well, you're the rusher, you do this, you like, we all had certain areas. So I guess I agree with what you're saying, where like if you have like targeted practice, you're probably going to get a little bit better at the game that you've chosen to be better at. In the long run, it made me a better Call of Duty player. Just
there you go.
Did. I don't know.
But yeah, something to think about if you're actually trying to improve in Call of Duty instead of just, I'm going to play 100 games tonight to get better. I mean, that'll work, but I think the faster plan of action is, targeted.
Yeah.
What am I bad at right now, or could improve on, and let's go with it.
I like that.
So,
yeah. But
little tip for all you people.
So you've been playing Destiny, surprise. I've been playing Call of Duty, surprise.
Yeah, we're really unique in what we do, huh?
We do so many different things during the week. What's going on?
Yeah.
Are you excited about any upcoming games? I've recently started to be excited about new things coming out.
Yeah, I'm really excited about the September expansion.
Well, yeah,
in Destiny.
And then they're what are they called? They're putting things into the vault.
Yeah,
so that you can't play them anymore. I was lurking in your stream and I heard you mention that now some of the stuff that will be vaulted, like the raids, you can grind them out now for loot.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
we have 76 or so days. They kind of just like opened the floodgates and said, keep playing them and enjoy them. I think it's part of the reason I'm having fun. Raids are a ton of fun. If you've never experienced them in any game, I suggest it. World of Warcraft has stuff like that.
Don't play.
That wasn't a raid. That was like
they called it incursions.
Yeah, I don't even know what to call that.
Yeah, it was just shoot this thing that barely moves at all until it dies. But
Destiny raids are a ton of fun. There are toxic people like anything else, but there's a lot of really helpful, super cool people. I've met like lifelong friends because of finding random people for raids. So it's a different experience.
It's interesting you say that because so I recently resubscribed to the Call of Duty subreddit. I like Reddit. Okay. I like the forum style that allows you to kind of chime in when you have time to chime in. It's kind of different than Discord, but we don't have to get into that now. So I rejoined a Call of Duty subreddit and everyone's like, the community's so toxic. The community's so terrible. And I'm like, well, maybe the general community, like when you just hop into a match and you hear that ass hat that's just being a jerk online. But when you really get into like discords or squad ups and things like that, people who actually want to find others to play with, it's a cool group of people, you know? I mean, you'll meet
who's going to go out of their way to meet friends to play with to just tell them they did inappropriate things to their mom, you know? Like that's just for the gen chat. I don't know how everybody in the world I've ever found in Call of Duty has all met my same mom, but like
that's weird, right?
They have. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Like, go to your family Thanksgiving and be like, Mom, apparently you've met a ton of people this year. All I hear is about you online.
If they're in a Discord or a Reddit and they're trying to make a new group or make new friends, they're probably not going to be as bad.
Yeah, I agree. I actually had one of the more interesting nights just last night on stream. It was Cooch and I playing for a while. We played 2v2s, and then we picked up another player that typically plays with us, and then he picked up 2 players, and we ended up having 6 people, which is the max party size in Call of Duty. And it's weird that it's the max party size because we tried to find a game, and for 20 minutes, Call of Duty is like, no, we can't find you a game, even though you have this party size that you're allowed. So we ended up just going, you know what, let's just do a custom game. And I've never played with half of these people, and it was probably one of the more reminiscent of like old school GoldenEye days where you're just having like a sleepover with buddies and you're all playing and all joking around. Teams are swapping and everyone's just having a blast. It was a really fun time. And those are the instances where I'm like, man, the gaming communities are amazing. Like just meeting new people, finding new friends to play with, people that you've never actually even physically seen in your life, but you're like, oh man, it's this guy, you know him by screen name only, right? But you play with him every single day. It's a cool thing to have. You know, I'm jealous of the way that we can do that now, and the way that like my son can have all of those different experiences. Whereas when we were kids, I'm like, hey man, I'm in school. Hey man, do you like Goldeneye? No. Oh, damn. That sucks. And that was the end of it. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just play with my same buddies that I always play with down the street. That's it.
Yeah.
It's a cool thing.
Yeah, it is really cool. You can meet, because I mean, you can literally, like we said, you can pick your favorite game, go find subreddits, go find Discords, go find Facebook groups, take your pick, and all of a sudden you have, thousands and thousands of people to pick from to make friends with, kind of, that have one thing in common at least.
Yeah, right. Did you ever remember the old AOL chat rooms and the really old beginning of the internet, socialization portion of the internet, where people would come in and you'd be like ASL, right? So it'd be age, sex, or what's L stand for? Language, maybe? Language, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
But now you get into a gaming community, it's what game mode do you want to play? Do you have a mic? There's the same categories of
time zone maybe,
right? It's what's your time zone, what's your preferred game method, and do you have a bike? And then you all of a sudden have 7,000 people that are yeah, I'll play with you, I'll play. It's really cool. I like it.
It's for sure is. It's funny you mentioned the old, it wasn't even AOL, but the forums with the chat built into them, basically.
Yeah.
The first time I was ever a mod was for a Pokemon forum, and it was it was a small group. It was maybe 100 people tops, and I don't know, I just became friends with everybody by talking in the chat all day like it was Discord.
Yeah.
And they modded me, even though I probably knew the least about Pokemon in the group, but everybody knew my name, so it's kind of cool. I guess that's where my whole modding Discords thing started.
That's where Twitch crew and then C2 started, was this Pokemon forum thing that you used to do. That's hilarious.
Poke Center or something. I think that's what it's called. I don't know, but
oh man, I've been a member of so many forums in the past, whether it was because when Fast and the Furious came out, I was a teenager and I was like, ooh, I gotta get a real fast car and soup it up and be a street racer. What? So I had a Mitsubishi Lancer, and I was a member of those forums, and it was just a bunch of teenagers talking about things they could never buy all the time.
Yes.
And then, the gaming communities that we have now are just so much fun. I mean, how many personal Discords, not necessarily your personal Discord, but how many, I guess, streamer Discords, which are personal Discords, how many of those are you a member of? Do you have a giant list of Discords that you're a part of?
I have folders. Yeah.
So you do.
I definitely have folders. I'm in I don't know, at least 50 Discords, probably closer to 100.
Holy smokes. Do you ever go through the cleansing mode where you're okay, I gotta clean some of these out, or do you just kind of just file them away and go, maybe later?
So probably a month before folders was implemented, I left almost everybody's Discord, because I was listen, no, nothing personal. I don't have time to talk in 70 Discords. We're all in this one Discord together. We can talk there, or you can DM me. That's it. Yep. I have to leave this. This is crazy. And then they came out with folders, so I kind of rejoined every Discord that I either was friends with or became friends with later. And once again, I mean, I basically don't talk in them, but on the off chance they're streaming and they're yeah, you want to play? I typically will check their Discord first, because it's their stream. They're probably there.
Yeah. I guess I like the group Discords like C2. I like those Discords, but there's this weird thing that I go through where it's if I don't talk for I can't even give you a duration of time, but if I don't talk for a while, all of a sudden I feel like I'm not in the conversation anymore, and I'm how do I get back into the conversation in a way? It almost feels like Discord is a little bit more of a personal conversation than a forum style. And maybe that's why I like Reddit so much, is because a forum style doesn't feel like an active conversation all the time. But
that's an interesting way to look at it, and I wonder how you could almost change that a little bit, so that, because I mean, we could talk about C2 for a second, and we both, moderate it, and we know the struggles of getting people to kind of chat, and I feel like a lot of people kind of feel like that if they're not part of the little clique.
Well, because you always have, it happens in multiple Discords. So not only the C2, but it's the ones that are
everywhere.
It's the ones that have bigger groups. So I have my Discord, where I never feel really out of the loop because it's my Discord, so I'm like kind of
they
always
have
the
to
conversation
want
starter.
to talk to you.
Right. It almost feels like I'm the conversation starter there in a way, and I don't know. It's a different feeling because it's mine, I guess. But like in C2, there's been times where I'll talk a bunch, and then all of a sudden, I don't have anything else to say, and then weeks go by, and I never interact again. So I wonder if a lot of the struggles that we've been having trying to get people to be more active is that uncomfortable, like, well, I'm not really part of that conversation kind of a thing. Because like I'm not a good morning every single day in every single Discord kind of guy, which there's nothing wrong with by any means. So don't take it that way. But like if you see the same good morning people, it almost like starts to create its own little like high school clique, like you were saying, right? Where like you see the same names every day and they interact for a little while, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, I'm not part of that subset, if you will.
Which is funny because we both know if you said good morning in there and they were still like in the midst of typing, they'd probably say good morning at the very least.
Yeah, there would be absolutely no, because the mindset of people who talk in Discord is not like, well, you're not part of this group, because they would just start their own Discord, because it's not like it costs any money to start your own Discord. That's why everyone has one. But it's that weird thing where communities seem to struggle more than targeted personal Discords, at least in my experience, because it's like generic. It's not, it's just like generic conversation amongst a group, and like, let's take a thing that we can all relate to, like a high school prom. That would be like everyone in the prom talking all together, which is never going to happen, versus having those little pockets of conversations all over the place kind of a thing, you know what I'm saying? Whereas that pocket of conversation is also in this other Discord that is targeted to their interest. The football team has a Discord. The cheerleaders have a Discord, you know, whatever. It seems very interesting how like you kind of default back to grouping yourself into this subset of something that doesn't really
like my
exist.
Destiny clan is pretty active. Like it's not even as many people probably. It's like probably 200-300 tops.
That's still, I mean, that's a big group of people still.
But still, I mean, they're super active because, we all have Destiny. We're all in the clan. I don't know. There's like a little bit different there.
I think you hit it on the head. Like you hit the nail on the head, I guess, is the statement that you typically use.
Yeah.
Like you have the commonality of Destiny, so you never really feel out of the conversation because there's always Destiny to talk about. Always.
Right.
Like
if there's anything going on in game, you can be like, hey, anybody doing this? Or what do you guys think about this? And somebody probably has an opinion because they also, I guess you could kind of do that in say C2 or streaming, because you could talk about streaming or Twitch.
Yeah. I mean, in the recent times, I would say the most active that I've seen the C2 was right around Animal Crossing's release. Right around that
That's
period.
true.
Because everyone had the commonality of, oh, I want to sell my turnips. I want to invite you to my island. I want to, interact in that way. And then it kind of died off a little bit just because, well, actually it died off when we took that out of game chat. Remember when we made an Animal Crossing channel?
There's a channel for it, yeah.
Yeah, so once that got taken out of game chat died, but like I'm not even a part of that because I don't have Animal Crossing. So it almost felt like since we moved it, the community went and then kind of waned out a little bit. It's weird.
Yeah. There's an Animal Crossing update recently since we brought it up. It came out, I don't know how many days ago. I haven't touched it because, all right, I talked to a villager in my town and they asked if they could leave the island. And you get to say yes or no, and they respect your decision. They kind of just listen to you. Yeah, they'll be like, hey, I kind of think my life would be better in another island. What do you think? And you can either say like, no, I'd really miss you. Or you could say like, I think you'd do great out in the world or whatever, right? What? So like, you're not like ordering them, but they'd go, oh my gosh, you would miss me? I'll stay. Or they'd leave. So I talked to one of my villagers. They wanted to leave, and they're not my favorite villager, but they're not a villager I don't like. So I kind of like froze, and I literally put my Switch on the dock, because if you don't answer, they never do anything, and you'll be in that conversation until you exit.
Okay.
So I think I'm still in that conversation. It's been a week.
Oh wow.
Because I never decided what I wanted to do. so I don't have the update.
Wait. So you were like die hard, like Animal Crossing every day, doing all the maintenance work in Animal Crossing, and you don't play it as actively anymore?
I haven't played in a week because I can't decide if Sally should leave my island, okay? I can't decide.
I can't decide if Sally should leave my island. So I haven't played in a week. That's someone clip that. Wow. That was awesome. So I did get my wife in. I should
say no at this point.
So Daxon says I should play Animal Crossing, and we do have it in the house. So way back when, I think it was Baggy or Mars or Musey, one of them, I was talking about the type of games my wife likes, and I figured Animal Crossing would be the thing, and she bought it, and she does like it a lot. She plays it just as much as Mario, which I know that doesn't mean much to you guys, but she plays Mario just as much as I play Call of Duty, so so that's a lot.
Okay.
But she loves Animal Crossing, and I walk upstairs and I just see her playing it all the time, and then I always think, I'm like, maybe I should put her into the C2 community and get her ingrained into the Animal Crossing world. And I'm like, wait, that could be a bad thing. Then she dives in even more, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't know.
She's streaming with you now.
Right, and then she's all like, can I use your computer to stream Animal Crossing? I'm like, no. But yeah.
So without playing it, they added diving and swimming for sure. I'm maybe more. That's all I can confirm without playing it.
That's why I've seen all kinds of, like, on Twitter, just people jumping in the water and stuff. I'm like, why am I seeing this? Like, isn't this just old stuff?
No, it's brand new.
Okay.
You couldn't swim. You couldn't even dip your toes in, really, you know?
God, remember? Okay, so that brings up an interesting thing. Remember in video games when water was the way to limit your world?
That makes it like GTA every time, because, like, you're on the island. If you landed in the water, you died. I mean, eventually, no. Now they have boats and seaplanes, but...
And you can swim and do all the things, but, like...
Yeah, water used to be the thing, except for, like, some games didn't. Like Mario's sometimes had water you could swim in, and like even at N64 Mario you could swim. They just had invisible walls.
N64 Mario was interesting though, because like the worlds just ended. Like there was no more world there. So it wasn't like a big giant like island that you eventually get to the end. It was just like the world's that's the edge of the world, and you could tell. Now in games, you get to that like magical point where it gives you the big red screen. It's like, turn back or you will die. And you're like, whoa, I hit the edge of the map. Oops, my bad.
Turn back zones or whatever. Yep.
Yeah, countdown for 3 seconds, and then you respawn 10 feet behind you, whatever. Oh man, I remember GTA. That was the most frustrating thing. Do you remember San Andreas, where there was a jump right next to the stadium, where with the fastest car in the game, you could jump across before the bridge was open. You could jump all the way across, and then you could save in a house on that side, and then you ruined your game. You could never.
I don't think I ever did that, so I guess I don't know.
All
I did in that game was ride a bicycle. That was it. I rode a bicycle all day, every day in that game. Yeah, pretty much. I'd shoot people or ride my bike.
Oh man, I don't know if I should be ashamed of this or proud of it. Grand Theft Auto 5 was the first Grand Theft Auto that I ever completed the story to 100%. Ever.
Okay, well, you say 100%, you don't mean like side quests and everything, right? You just mean like the primary story.
The primary story, yes. That's the first game I ever completed it.
See, I've finished Vice City, San Andreas, and 5.
I always got so distracted that eventually I just stopped playing, because I'm like, I just go around and shoot people and do random things, and then I forget what the story even has. And Grand Theft Auto 5 was the very first one where I was like, no, pay attention, go through the story, finish this game.
It had a decent story, in my opinion.
I liked I think it was very helpful that it had 3 separate characters that were all part of the same story. I like the switching back and forth, because even though it was... I mean, it was a good story. I liked just the way that it was all intertwined together, and you saw it from different perspectives, and just all the...
For sure.
the changes that happened. Because like
different personality types. Yeah.
If you went through the whole thing with Trevor, at a certain point, you're like, this guy's too much. Like he was a lot, but it was enough in those small situations where you were Trevor, or you saw him in a cutscene. You're like, okay, this actually kind of makes sense. Okay, it's not just like always in your face. You know, I really liked that. I really liked the changing of characters. I think more games would benefit from doing that. But
some games do,
but not in the way
games do that, yeah.
So Spider-Man PS4, you become a couple different characters, but for one mission. I like the whole like where it's multiple missions. They are an integral part of the entire experience, not just like a, oh well, you got to be stealthy with this person because they can't fight, and then you're gonna struggle through that terrible mission where no one ever wants to play it because you're like, just give me back Spider-Man. Just let me be an awesome character instead of this person who has no ability to fight or whatever. You know, it's just, I like that. I like that style.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I can't really think of other games that did it. I know it's been done. I mean, I think The Last of Us, the first one, you play as like Ellie for a little bit.
Yeah, you bounce back and forth. But
it's like one mission, two mission. It's not a lot.
It's not like the whole game is like just swapping. And
switching.
There's even missions in Grand Theft Auto where you have to play all of the characters in one mission. So you have to switch between them and like help yourself with another person within the story. It's kind of cool. I like that.
That is neat. Yeah.
I was a fan. So, man, that was a long intro. Welcome to the content of the show. No. So, did you see Ninja? We know where he's streaming now. We officially know.
So, yeah, I saw him post on Twitter 1 hour, and then 24 minutes later or something, he said he posted the YouTube channel link.
Yep. Did see that last
Is it
night?
official that he's staying there though, or is this like a maybe one-time stream?
You know what? That's unconfirmed. So last night, I want to say it was kind of late last night. He did like a test stream, which I don't think he meant it to actually be listed. Because in YouTube, when you're setting up a stream, it's really weird how YouTube works. I don't like it. It's not as user friendly as Twitch. Like Twitch, you hit start streaming in OBS and then bam, you're live. On YouTube, you hit start streaming. You have to select what stream key you're using. You have to click go live. After you're live on your software, you have to go on YouTube and click go live, and you have to change the listing, change like all kinds of different steps that you have to do. So I can see how this would happen when you go into the go live creator dashboard, I guess, for lack of a better term right now. When you go into the creator dashboard, you start streaming and then you see your video pop up. And then it says, oh, it looks like you're live. Would you like to go live on the website? You have to click the go live button, and then it pops up and it says, okay, you can have it being public, which is normally what you do. You can have it being unlisted, which is people have to have the link to see it, or you can have it private where only you can see it. So apparently he did a test stream for it, and he accidentally made it public for a while. So people found it, of course, because, well, it's Ninja. And it's on Ninja's account, and it's notified millions of people. Ninja's live, you know. And so he did the live stream. He did that announcement tweet that you were talking about, and then he actually streamed today. And he's, at the time that I looked, 123,000 viewers for his stream.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That kills his Mixer numbers. By like 100K.
I mean, I say Mixer, I think he was averaging 2 to 3K on most days. Like, and Mixer just didn't have an audience as much as like they had a lot of cool stuff, but there wasn't enough people there. And I never figured out why. I always kind of secretly hoped, not secretly, you know, like hoped in the back of my mind that it just came out of. It was a battle between them and Twitch.
I literally considered switching. I was like, well, what if it is the next big thing? Do I go over there now and start building something now? And I almost did it, and I eventually decided not to because Twitch has a massive lead. When you go back and forth, are you yawning without opening your mouth?
Yeah,
you are. Yeah, I see that. But so
I don't know what up. I need some energy.
Like Twitch has this massive lead on things that we don't. we as content creators probably think about, but viewers don't necessarily think about. Chat bots. You can't even have a YouTube chat bot. You have to pop out the chat, put it in your OBS. You don't have chat bots like we have in our current stream right now. There's just not them. So you have to use the pop out feature and then put it in there, and it's all styled like YouTube, and it's very weird. The way that you go live is terrible.
Yep.
The fact that the live people aren't even really featured whatsoever on YouTube drives me nuts. Like Twitch has a lot of
who was live on YouTube, and 10 minutes later I didn't know who was live on YouTube, and I left.
It's
I don't know. I know where to find videos. I can find a video anytime you want, but who was live? I don't know. To this day, I still don't know if anyone was live.
Twitch has a larger lead in the world of live streaming than we think it does. I experienced it today because I was like, you know what? Ninja's streaming to YouTube. I better at least know how to stream to YouTube. And it took me like an hour to figure out, like, why is this not functioning the way I want? And then I had to Google, and eventually I found out that you can't have a chat bot. You can have the alerts and you can have the event lists, but you can't have a chat bot yet. And then just all the things, no subscribers really, because subscriptions on YouTube are free, so you're working on ad revenue. Like, there's just so many things that all these other streaming platforms are so far behind. And that puts me in the mindset of like, okay, so yeah, last time we talked about Brime, Trovo, DLive. Was there one more? Maybe?
Caffeine.
We talked about all those platforms, and I'm like, it's YouTube. And they're way behind. It's YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, like, everybody believes at this point, for the most part, I won't say everybody for sure, but YouTube's going to be at some point the best competition for Twitch, right? Because the thing with YouTube is their videos are far past anybody else, right? Like Twitch's VODs, nobody cares.
YouTube
nobody
is
goes and like
content.
Right. Nobody
100%.
cares about VODs on Twitch unless it's like their favorite streamer and they missed a stream maybe. But other than that, no one's going on Twitch and like searching things to watch as far as VODs. So YouTube already has that side. They need live now, and they need to get that big. Ninja's going to help, obviously.
I think Ninja will bring more attention to their live streaming, I guess, service. Or I wonder how many people didn't even know that YouTube had live streaming until they saw Ninja on there. And they're like, wait,
all the
streaming?
records, I believe all the records for like most views of something were on YouTube.
Okay.
Like live views. I believe the Fortnite events were all bigger on YouTube than they were Twitch.
Really? Well,
don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure they were.
So technically speaking, YouTube does have a massive leg up on the competition, because if you search for Fortnite live event, you're searching it in Google, which is going to give you YouTube first. Whether it's live YouTube or recorded or whatever, it's going to give it. Actually, Google is only number 2 search engine to YouTube, which is also Google. Like, that's insane. That's crazy. So Twitch not being indexed when people are live, that's a massive hole, I guess I would say. So if you don't directly go to twitch.tv and you search for anything, you're not going to get Twitch stuff. You're always going to get YouTube stuff. So unless you are a Twitch user, you'll never visit Twitch. So all those people that don't even give a crap about Twitch whatsoever, they're Googling things. Because, when you pull up your browser, which most people use Chrome or Firefox, the default search engine is Google.
Yep.
You just type into this. Right. You don't even go to google.com. You just type in and then it pops up and it's Google. There you go. And then phones too. So
it's an interesting point I never really thought about, that since they own YouTube, like you said, you search, you're going to get a YouTube video.
Always.
Or a YouTube stream or a YouTube channel, or you're not going to find... I've only ever found Twitch channels of people if you're like searching like the real Darth guy, and Twitch. Maybe even have to put a word in there, Twitch, and then I'll find your page. Like, maybe if I don't put Twitch, I'll still find it eventually, because it's us. Like, we're smaller, like you said. There's only so many channels you're gonna find with the real Darth guy. Actually, you have a page everywhere, so who knows?
Right. Well, So if I search Tim the Tatman live, that's probably a bad example just because he's such a large streamer. But Twitch does come up first, and then there's a specific videos tab in the search results, and it's all YouTube. So if you search Tim the Tatman live, and then obviously it's going to be Twitch first, and then everything else is just a ton of YouTube. There's a bunch of YouTube videos.
I even just typed Baggy Noodle Arms. Twitch is first. So first result, then Facebook, Twitter. And I have a YouTube technically, but it's not active, so maybe that's why.
That's probably why, yeah.
But if you searched like you said, Fortnite live event, there's no chance anything else is going to show up except for like YouTube or
Fortnite live event. So I'm going to search it as well. And yeah,
website, GameSpot.
It obviously pops up with videos first, so it recommends videos first, and it's all YouTube stuff, just constant YouTube.
See, I'm not using Google, so I'm getting interesting different results a little bit.
Wait, you're using another search? Are you using Ask Jeeves? What are you using over there?
DuckDuckGo.
Okay. Yeah. So Ninja, 123,000 viewers on his first ever YouTube stream versus, his 2,000 to 3,000 on Mixer. I mean, imagine the ad revenue he made alone today. He doesn't even need subscribers.
Yeah, and I mean, YouTube probably, if he's staying there, YouTube probably paid him for some sort of partnership, like exclusive rights. Maybe he didn't take that route. Maybe he wants to, hey, today I feel like using Twitch. Tomorrow I want to use YouTube. I want to use Facebook the day after. We don't know yet.
The interesting
we don't know
thing
a lot
about
of things right now.
The Mixer shutdown has changed everything that we know about. Like, so obviously Shroud and Ninja. Has Shroud even streamed? I don't even think he's been live, has he?
Woody tweeted like right as we were going live, I miss Shroud, so I'm gonna assume he's been nowhere.
Yeah. So Ninja's going right now. Ninja's streaming to YouTube because he wants to stream. Sure. Shroud will say he's nowhere. And then what about Doc? Dr. Disrespect is just.
Well, that had nothing to do with Mixer, but same time frame, and yeah, we still to this day don't know what happened to Doc.
The silence is so weird. Like normally you'd be like, okay, in 7 days we'll probably figure something out. Like something will come out, right? It was really, really hot for like 4 days, and then it just like, are we all fine with just not knowing now? Like it's weird because I'm a fan, as I proclaimed last time we were live, and I'm like, how do we not know yet?
His last tweet still the like Champions Club tweet, and I originally said there's no way he could be, the theory of arrested or whatever, because he tweeted a day later. But at this point, it's starting to be questionable because, like,
you're right, because like the silence, you're like, well, maybe he is gone, maybe he is in jail, like,
right? Because if he's just at home and he can't stream on Twitch, he can still like. He's still verified on Twitter. Like people still care about him.
He could live on Twitter.
Right? That's new, right?
Periscope or whatever. And didn't they buy Periscope to make the ability to go live on Twitter?
If you can go live on Twitter, I don't know how. But either way,
he's not partnered with Discord anymore. But he still has a Discord server that he could go live in.
He could do that.
You could Patreon.
He could just talk like about COD or something in Twitter and ignore all the. What's going on? You could ignore all that.
Yeah.
And he hasn't. He's literally fallen off the face of the planet.
It's so weird. I don't want to say that it makes some of the rumors start to feel a little bit more true, but you're right. Like you kind of start to, without any answers, your mind wanders to, well, what if it's this? It could be that then. This is actually gaining more traction because he's gone. Like
I don't have a fair guess because I just don't. Like, I don't know him personally. I don't know. There's so many stories and nothing's come to light.
What I really hope is happening is I hope they're stuck in some kind of office or courtroom or something like that doing legal battles, and he can't say anything because he's legally bound to not say something based on his contracts.
That's probably most likely.
We'll figure something out. I really, 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 me as a fan of Dr. Disrespect, don't want any of the crazy things to be true. I just don't want any of the criminal charges to be facts.
Or or
That would
the allegations of misconduct against women or whatever, any of that
I don't
type
want
of stuff.
any of that to be true. I want that all to just be internet hubbub that just goes away and is gone. But who knows?
Even as a fan, I would hope you don't want that, because that obviously means that happened, right? Like,
yeah, right.
I hope, as much as he's a character and he plays the bad guy as a character in a way, I hope the same. I hope it's some stupid, like, he was going to stream on YouTube and Twitch found out or something silly, and doesn't really matter to the fans. It only matters in the legal
departments. Yeah. I'd agree with that 100%.
Eventually, I feel like he can't just fall off the face of the planet forever, right?
That would be so weird. I hope not, because
know what happened eventually will leak it if nothing comes out. I feel like they'd have to.
Yeah, right? Because, like, there was, I mean, I'll be generous and say there was like 30 people that were like, oh, I know what happened, but I can't talk because I don't want to get in legal trouble. And you're like, well, now you're silent.
Make a fake account and post, I guess. I mean, that's me being selfish, I guess, but
right. Tell me something.
Let me know.
I know.
Yeah, Dr. Dis, who knows? We'll find out one day, I hope, because it'd be real weird if just like 10 years from now you were like, remember that Dr. Dis guy?
Happened? Yeah, that would be
heck?
That would be odd. Well, let's
Sure
change it up a little bit. So we have some gaming events coming up. Xbox is doing their little gaming event. I can't remember the date off the top of my head, and I meant to write it down, but I didn't. They're talking about a bunch of their new games. Ubisoft, I almost said Ubisoft because that's what I always say. They're doing their Forward presentation on Sunday. Are you planning on doing any live reactions or anything like that to that Ubisoft event?
I didn't even know it was happening, so I'll start there. Secondly, I have a friend in town from Seattle for the weekend.
Well,
Thursday to Monday. So, obviously everything else takes a backseat to potentially spending time with him. So, I will say no plans now. If I'm sitting here doing nothing else and I am watching it, then sure, maybe I'd do it. But more than likely, it sounds like you might be, and I'll probably be in your chat.
Yeah, I'll be doing something because I actually really enjoy doing those like presentation streams where we can talk about it and just kind of chit chat, reaction streams, if you will. But
it fits what you like to do anyway. Like the just chatting, the kind of talk about opinions of game stuff and podcasting type stuff. It fits.
I will definitely be live for that. I've started to realize that I love Ubisoft. Not necessarily the way that they release games broken a little bit, or sometimes the games don't live up to their full potential that they were announced at. For instance, like Division, when we saw the first preview of Division, it looked absolutely amazing, and a bunch of things happened in that preview, and then the Division ended up being a little bit of a different game. But honestly speaking, Ubisoft is like one of my favorite publishers out there. I mean, I can't
name anything they make except for like Division and Watch Dogs. So
Division,
I feel like I'm not in the club.
Ghost Recon, Splinter Cell, Assassin's Creed, Rayman.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. I knew Rayman. I just don't play any of it, so I guess I'm not with you on this one.
Yeah, I love the open world kind of free roam games, and right now Ubisoft is kind of like the authority in open world free roam games in a way. So
you think so?
I'm pretty well. I guess I wouldn't say authority in that kind of.
They didn't make Elder Scrolls, or
I would say that they are the most frequent releaser of those type of games.
Who makes Far Cry? That's Ubisoft, right?
That's Ubisoft, yeah.
So Far Cry is almost like a yearly game, and that kind of fits that genre, if you will.
A lot of people are thinking that Far Cry is going to be part of it. Obviously, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is the Viking Assassin's Creed, which is probably going to be awesome because just the brutality of Assassin's Creed and put Vikings in that position. Yeah, that sounds cool. I'll be good with that.
I do love Far Cry. So I'll be happy about that.
Far Cry. Did you play Far Cry 5?
Which one's that?
It's the one before New Dawn. So the New Dawn was after the apocalypse happened. Far Cry 5 was before it, right before it. It was a pretty good game.
Pink suit. The dude in the pink suit.
Mm-mm.
Little
That
spiky
was
blonde.
Far Cry. I want to say that was
Two
3.
bullet.
That
Too
might
many
have
of
been-
them at this point.
That was 3 or 4.
Track.
Yeah, there's a ton of. Well, also the numbers don't follow because it'll be like Far Cry 4, Far Cry 4 this, Far Cry 4 that, Far Cry 4 that, Far Cry 5, Far Cry 5 this.
Yeah, the last one I played was Primal.
Okay. I mean,
and
it's
3 or 4 as well.
it's a pretty good game. I like that game. But yeah, they're gonna be announcing some games, and then here's the kicker. So earlier in the year, I don't know if you remember, but they gave away Watch Dogs 1 for free in the Epic, or not Epic, but in the Ubisoft store. I forget why they gave it away for free, but they gave it away for free nonetheless, right? Now, if you log in at any point during that entire conference, you get Watch Dogs 2 for free on PC. So all you have to do is log into the Uplay launcher, and you get it for free during that event. So you have that 1 hour to 1.5 hour window where you will get that game for free. So I'll of course tweet it, and I'll post it to the C2 and all of the Discords that need those kind of announcements. But log in, get it for free, because well, free is free. You don't have to pay anything, so why not? I'm pretty excited about that one. There's of course,
I'm trying to remember if I got the first one free now.
There's of course the rumors that Splinter Cell might be coming back, but there's always rumors that Splinter Cell might be coming back. I don't actually think it'll ever come back. I think
it's like the rumors of Half-Life coming as well.
Yeah, it's to that level. It's to that level at this point. But that'll be a little fun event. I'm liking the fact that it's on a Sunday instead of like a Thursday or Friday, because I haven't been able to do one of these reaction streams in a long time because everything's at like 1:00 in the afternoon on Thursday, and I'm like, well, I'll watch it, but I have to work. Like I can't be there. So come hang out.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
It'll be cool.
It'll be fun.
So I'll probably be in your chat because that's Sunday. So sounds good.
Yeah.
You wrote down, we were talking topics, and one I thought would be kind of cool to talk about, and we were hitting on it before the show, is kind of networking for streaming.
So yeah, I've gotten a couple questions from, well, I feel like there are a lot of questions, but it's less questions and just a longer conversation about it. So I've been asked by multiple people about how to grow your stream, and like, should I network? Should I join a bunch of Discord? Should I follow for follow, which we all know what that answer is? Should I sub for sub? Like all these different things, whether it's YouTube or Twitch, it doesn't matter. And one thing that I'm really starting to notice is that like there's let's be realistic about this like streamer networking thing, because you know we all want to throw happiness and rainbows up each other's ass and be like, yeah, you gotta join some other Discords, and you gotta make friends with all the streamers, and then all of a sudden they're gonna start bringing their audience to you, and they're gonna start pushing their fans to you. No, they're not. Like, the streamer themselves might become your fan and become your friend, and maybe you'll squat up and you'll do things like that, but for the most part, that's about the extent of where it goes, with some exceptions, but less of them I'm noticing. So where do you come in on this? Like, I think streamer to streamer networking, streamers aren't your audience. You shouldn't necessarily be networking to streamers. You should be networking to people that have the same interest for something that you're pursuing. So like you for Destiny, you're not gonna go pursue another Destiny stream and be like, can I have your audience please? No.
So I have a few things with that. I think obviously I run a streamer Discord. The intent originally was to create a networking space, and not just for like get new viewers, but like get ideas, get advice, get, be able to ask questions. So a little different, but obviously I want the idea to work, right?
Yeah.
And not, hey, I watch you, you have to watch me. That's just stupid. You can make friends with a lot more people than you can watch, because you don't have all the time in the world to just watch Twitch.
Right.
I'll say I agree for the most part. It's not like, if you go in to networking, if we want to use that word,
we
with
will,
streamers,
just because that's the common, I guess, term.
If you want to just network, I'm air quoting here, and watch people or make friends with people with the only intent being this will grow my channel, you just stop. Because
Please.
9 times out of 10, probably even higher than that, 9.9 times out of 10, it's not going to work. People kind of see through it. One, it's just kind of rude in a way, right? Like I'm pretending to be your friend to
like
get something.
Like my message today when I popped in your stream, I'm like, oh, Destiny, play Call of Duty. Like,
yeah, and I jokingly said to you, you're a streamer, you know better. Don't come in here telling me what to play.
It's
I'm kidding. Dart's my friend. He can say it. I don't care, but it is, there's some etiquette, I guess, as you will.
But it's kind of like, have you ever had those people that come in your stream and they're like, my stream didn't go so well today, and you're like, mother, my stream, my viewers don't give a crap about that. Don't talk about your stuff. Like you're self-promoting by you're masking self-promotion in facetious statements suggesting that I'm a streamer.
I've gone through different phases on how I feel about stuff like that. I used to, when I first started, you always hear the no self promo, blah, blah, blah. And you're supposed to almost like get mad if anyone talks about their stream. I'm kind of at a point that like my channel's just like a grounds to have conversation. If that's really what you want to say, I probably won't live on it. Like I'm not going to just talk about your stream for my whole stream.
Okay.
Right. But I'll be like, hey, sorry your stream went poor. Like I mean that. I know what it's like to have a bad stream. I can be like, hey, sorry your stream went well. Like, you're just going to keep at it. It takes a lot of work. Hopefully next stream's better, and like try to move on because I want them to be acknowledged. But I don't, you don't need to time them out because they talked about streaming or whatever. Like that's the mentality everybody has when they first start streaming. Cause you hear like, don't let people like self promo and yada, yada. And you like get this mentality that it's like evil, but most people come in with a good intention. They're like, that's what's on their mind.
I believe that most people inherently are good.
I agree. Yeah,
I do. Even trolls, like I have this weird view of trolls as well, where I'm like, they're just looking for something to amuse themselves, and they're trying to troll because it will get them the attention that they want. If you can somehow redirect that attention to something that they care about more than being that jerk, you can probably keep them as a viewer.
I've seen people be trolls and then get a sub gifted to them in the stream, and then they like change attitudes for some reason. It's like,
that's weird. But
somebody gives them a sub and they're like, oh, this community's cool. I'm gonna not troll because they're actually cool. Like it's like, okay, whatever. So I'm here's an idea for you. A troll, just throw $5 at them. I don't know. But as far as the streamer thing, you're making legitimate friends, especially that share common interests. I do think there's some value in it. I've made friends with other Destiny streamers, and now I have some of their friends, usually friends, not so much like viewers. I don't even really like using the viewer word, even though if somebody watches you, they're a viewer. Even if they're your best friend, they're a viewer, right?
Oh yeah.
But you make friends with that group, and then people who use Twitch in that group might be like, oh well, this guy's not live. His friend that I played with a few times is live. Maybe I'll go hang out there or whatever.
Yeah.
You kind of, it does have some value. It can grow your stream. Most of my viewers, even on good days, is like all people I met from, through streaming or gaming, and most of them are streamers themselves.
See, I guess that makes perfect sense for I guess the people like me that I only stream 2 days a week, and then my other days I'm either playing with someone else who's streaming or watching someone else's stream. So I consider myself actually equal part viewer and streamer.
Same.
It's the people that they want their streaming career to be the full-time job. You're never going to really get those people to come pop into your stream ever.
There is a mentality you have to learn, which is like, as we said at the beginning of this, if you go in with if you talk to someone, you're like, now they're going to watch me. You're basically like, you can feel however you want. But if you start getting mad, or like you have the idea so strongly in your head that the favor is going to be returned, don't do that. You're going to be upset by the outcome.
I like how you put that. Yeah. Like I'm doing you a favor by being in your stream. Now you have to do me a favor by being in my stream. It's a tit for tat kind of. That's essentially exactly equal to follow for follow. It's view for view. It's just a lesser version.
you don't even
trading
care about
views.
each other. You're just, like, trading, what your I don't know, what
Trading
you have, I guess.
that one single little increment of one number or whatever, right?
You can't do that. Like, if that's your plan to get partner, can you really watch 75 people every week, every day, just so that 75 people watch you back? That's absurd, right?
You know what drives me absolutely insane? Like, there's so many times where I'll see my little follower queue on the left-hand side, and I'm like, I want to watch like 10 different people, but I know that like it would be weird of me to turn on 10 different streams and then just say hi to all of them and then like not pay attention. Like when I visit your streams, I like to actually chat with you and actually be part of your community and talk to people.
I also think there's a better, if you're truly making a friend, right? Like, if Darth comes in my stream, I'm not like, oh, this dude's just coming for views, or like, and I also don't mind being like, hey, like, Darth's here, like, I was in a stream last night, we were talking about whatever, like, I may bring up your stream or your schedule or whatever, like, just because we have a friendship in a way, like, you don't feel awkward about talking about their stream. It's just one of your friends doing something. It's like if I was to talk about you having a kid or having a party or it's like talking about anything. It's just something they do.
Casual conversation that we would have on a normal basis anyways. I
so
agree
yeah,
with that.
that's what I was saying. Networking can work. I think if your whole goal is I'm going to talk to every streamer I ever know and I'm going to grow, it's going to be a tough ride. You have to. There's some,
well, but you're never
there's
gonna
some
make
thinking
any
about
friends, too. Like, you're never gonna make any real acquaintances and real people that you mix
if
with.
you're in it just for numbers, obviously, I've been in situations where I made friends with mostly people who were small streamers, and I mean small, like they're new, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess in theory, those people can't really bring viewers to your channel because they don't have viewers. So. But once again, you just don't expect anything. Make friends to make friends, and if a couple of them end up with a few viewers and they feel like mentioning you or rating you or they're gaming with you and maybe they're viewers, then that's totally awesome and it works. It can work. It really can.
I think I would love it if squad streams finally became available to affiliates, because I think
where are they? I want them.
Like, I want them so bad. Like, how awesome would squad streams be for all affiliates? Like, partners don't give a crap about that. They've got their 10,000 viewers and they're fine. They don't care about that. They do it just because it's available and it's a button click away. But affiliates would literally benefit all affiliates. And if all affiliates are benefiting, guess who also benefits? That guy Twitch up at the top. Yeah. Jeff Bezos, right?
The problem is Mixer was the reason they were even pushing that. They had it, and now Mixer's dead.
Mixer died. I think Twitch is gonna take many steps backwards because the competition is so different
unless they feel Facebook is gonna be because now Facebook is Facebook and Mixer. I wonder if they're actually more scared.
I would be willing
I'd probably
to
say
wage
no.
a guess, and I would say no because Facebook, just like Mixer, Facebook doesn't focus on Facebook gaming, just like Microsoft didn't focus on Mixer. Twitch, while they're owned by Amazon, but Twitch is really kind of its own entity in a way.
Agreed.
So they are purely focused on the money driving version of Twitch that they want to make. And I don't think that everyone else is just kind of dabbling in it right now. YouTube, Facebook, and wow, why is my mind? No, that's it.
YouTube, Facebook, Twitch.
Well, Twitch is only focused on streaming. Okay, that's it. And then Facebook is like, well, we make so much money in ads and all this other stuff and all this selling data. And then Google is like, well, we do the same thing. We'll have this streaming platform and YouTube loves their video on demand stuff. And it's just like, I don't think that we're going to get a lot of advancement in Twitch right now just because they're not going to have anyone pushing them. So we're going to.
I agree. I think stagnant. Amazon owning Twitch would be like, I don't know, Walmart buying Mixer or something, right? Like, Walmart has a ton of money. But they're not going to pretend they know Mixer. They're going to just let Mixer do their thing with Walmart's money.
It's a completely independent company that Amazon owns a majority stake in, and they control, and they have the budget of Amazon to lean on. So
yeah, I'm definitely interested to see where everything goes. But anyway, back to networking. I think it can work.
Right.
Just don't make it about. Don't just talk to somebody for the views, because you're most likely going to be very disappointed. But if you make genuine friends, it very much could work in your favor.
Genuine friends are so. I mean, in the beginning, I was like, I got to figure out how to do this Twitch thing, and then through the time of finally realizing where I was in Twitch, I started to make real friends like you. We have a podcast together now. We didn't know each other for anyone until Twitch Crew.
Yeah.
And I was brought into Twitch Crew by someone completely separate. But now we have a podcast together. Like the Cooch, I play games with him almost every night. A bunch of people that I met in C2, I play games with them every night. It's more valuable to have that than it is to have a viewer, that one single number in that little ticker that you're not supposed to pay attention to.
As we said, I'm the example of I stream heavily for a while, and then I fall off streaming for like months at a time. It's not crazy for me to disappear for months.
You do. You go
I
through
still
phases.
tweet, Discord. You'll still find me. Twitter,
if
you'll
you're
find
in
me
Destiny,
on there. But
you'll still find him.
You'll still see me in game. Yeah. But I might not be streaming. And every time I come back, it shows. It shows the people that I wasn't watching anymore. Not hoping that they'd watch me back, but like trying to make a friendship. If we didn't actually make a friendship, they're not in my stream. They don't stop in and go, "Hey, where the heck you been?" Because I was a viewer, and that's fine. But if I made a real friendship, they're there. They go, "Oh, dude, you're streaming again." Like they notice.
It's almost like you filter the non-true fans and friends out by not streaming for a while. You're like, okay, I'm just gonna. I gained a couple, and then I'm gonna filter out the ones that aren't here for the good reasons. I'm gonna not stream for a bit.
I mean, some of them might just leave because they're like, that dude doesn't take streaming seriously. I'm wasting my time. He may never stream again. Why am I gonna get invested in this entertainment? It's like watching a show knowing they're gonna cancel before they finish the show.
Oh well, that's just
nobody
every
watches
show
that
I
show,
end
right?
up liking. Every show I end up liking gets canceled. Like, is Space Force coming back? Please come back. Space Force was amazing.
The one I watched? Heroes or something? Was that the one?
Heroes lasted for 4 seasons, which was way too short. But season 4 was the garbage season. Season 4 was like, oh, we all just got told that we're being canceled after this season. We have to wrap up everything.
That was the one with Hayden Panettiere, right?
Yeah, she was the cheerleader.
Okay,
yeah. I loved that show.
That was a great show, and it just canceled.
My router's name is Peter Petrelli.
So that's like, if I said to you, hey, I have this new show. It was good. There's only 2 seasons, and then they ended, and they kind of had to wrap it up really quick. Would you watch it? Probably not.
No, I guess
so.
I
think there's people with that mentality, right? Like if this dude's not going to take streaming seriously, and I'm going to sub or whatever, and then I'm never going to be able to even like have a 2-year sub badge because the guy disappears.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Or whatever. I mean, I think there's those people too. I don't want to say everyone who disappeared had bad intentions for sure, but it is funny. Like
I disappeared for 8 months straight.
Yeah. But guess who was there when you came back?
Cooch? No.
Baggy Noodle Arms.
Noodle Arms was there. Yep.
That's right. Yeah. Anyone you make like a real connection with. They might come view, and you'll have just viewers too. And like I said, I don't like to call them just viewers, but eventually, if this is your career or you make it big, Tim the Tatman, Dr. Dis, Summit, those dudes can't be friends with their whole chat.
No,
you have to come to, you have to face reality. Summit has 32,000 people in his chat right now. He does not know all their names, their moms, their grandmas.
He
can't.
I would say under 10 viewers. At the under 10 viewer mark is when those viewers all kind of have like a almost personal relationship with the streamer. And even some of those people might end up becoming mods once the channel does start to grow a lot.
That's true.
But once you get to like 20, 30, 50, 100, like you don't have that same community that you used to have at 5 or 10. It's
20,
different now.
20, you could still be friends, but I know what you're saying. Yeah, once you get to like 100, I mean, you don't have time to talk to 100 people as like
and some of
real
the time,
friends.
So if you built a community correctly, the chat is talking to each other too. So if you go on a BRB,
Right.
chat's still rolling and they're still chatting together
Yeah.
and they're still talking to each other. It's not that
That's true.
it's just about
It's like
you.
your friends in your chat make friends with people in the chat, and then those people make friends in the chat, and then they're almost there because of you a little bit, but almost because like it's like being in a Discord or like a Facebook group or a forum. They like all know who each other are, or somebody in there.
Yeah.
The mods know who they are, and
They
you know,
enjoy entertainment
that's the dream
value that you're
right?
giving, and then they enjoy each other as well. Like, yeah, you're building like Cooch says it, you want to have a community, not a viewer. The community portion of it's really cool. So like if you have your own personal Discord and all of a sudden you see in your squad up channel, it's not sparked by you, but you see other people in your squad up channel, all of a sudden you're like, oh look, people are friends outside of me. Like I am not the catalyst every single time in a way. Like,
and then somehow you go from that point to the point where you don't know anybody in your chat and they all just meme you all day. They like copy pastas and emotes. You have for the whole chat,
sub chat only and emote chat only and random things like that, right?
Eventually you get to that point and then you're like, oh, okay, that's when you've made it. When your whole chat is just emotes and nobody even knows each other, so you've made it.
So that brings up an interesting question. Like, okay, so it's really cool to be able to interact with your chat and have like personal relationships and squad ups and all kinds of really close friends in there. Do you feel like if you ever, let's say you blew up and all of a sudden your average viewership is 100 every single stream, how do you think, you would like that as much? Do you think you would handle that the same? How do you think you would feel if you made it?
I put some thought into this. I think they all have like their benefits as far as like, I don't know, social interaction or whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. So like you said, you know, under 20 or whatever, personal relationships with each person potentially. You start getting to like 50, 100. I feel like you can kind of do community events rather than like, you know, I can't DM you all and ask how your day is every day or something like, but we can do a movie night once a week, or we can do a Jackbox night in Discord or something, maybe even off Twitch. You know, like, I mean, you can foster still like a friendship community group. Yeah, and maybe you don't know them all super personally, but you know, you get to know their names and at least you recognize their name in Twitch.
Yeah, I don't know what you had for breakfast this morning, but we all dropped into a map and had a massive battle royale all together or something like that in that night, you know.
And then you go from that point to like you get bigger and bigger, and at some point you can't even really do any of that. Instead, you have this really cool thing in my eyes that's you have a platform to be a good influence, be a good, you know, like you have a true platform that you can like raise money for charity. You can, you know, tell people to stand behind a movement you believe in. You can do all sorts of really neat stuff.
One of the coolest streamers that I've been paying a lot more attention to lately is Dr. Lupo. Like,
I love Lupo because of this. Yes.
His content, his mentality, the way he presents himself on stream, how he handles situations. He's a really good streamer, and I really enjoy watching him he's not like a Dr. Disrespect size or a Tim or a Nick Merckx size, but what he does is exactly the kind of streamer that I would aspire to be. Like, whether it's giving people advice, which, you know, someone will come into his chat and have some really impactful thing where they're like, hey, can you help me with XYZ? Maybe it's mental health or something bigger than him. And he stops his game, goes into just chatting, just a camera on himself, and he's like, I am not qualified to answer, or, you know, like he'll go into and he'll tell the truth and then also be like, here, I can give you a bunch of places to contact if you need help. I can do all these things. Like, just the way that he presents himself on stream really makes a good
He's also
example.
very well spoken.
Yeah,
Dr. Lupo is very well spoken.
He can speak. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's built a platform, unlike Dr. Disrespect, which I'm equally a fan of. Dr. Disrespect is like, no, I can't talk about that. Move on. And then just plays Call of Duty.
Darth just likes doctors. We figured it out.
Apparently, yeah. Oh, well,
I'm changing my name.
I have
Dr.
inside
Baggy Noodle
information.
Arms.
The reason Dr.
no,
Disrespect was
don't
banned was
even.
because they found out he doesn't have a medical degree.
Lupo's next. Sorry.
Lupo's next.
Yeah. I was just about to change my name, Dr. Baggy Noodle Arms.
Dr. Baggy Noodle. All of a sudden, next time I'm like, this new streamer, it's Dr. Noodles. I don't know if you know him. You're like, uh-huh.
Uh-huh, yeah.
You have a wig on. Oh, man. Yeah. It's interesting because, like, we all want to get to that point where we're, like, making a living, if you will, on Twitch, right?
Not all, probably not all, but I mean, at least us, yes.
I mean, if you had the choice of continuing to be at a very small number or zero for a lot of people, or you could make a living, we'll go full out and say you can make a living doing it, and your job every single day is to get on camera, stream, play video games, and talk to people, and that's it. We want to get to that level, and like, I really, 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 really hope that I would still be some semblance of the same person. I hope it doesn't go to your head, you know? Like, it doesn't feel like it goes to Tim's head, but it kind of feels like it goes to Doc's head. But Doc has a character.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think, would you be the same person?
I mean, you know, we all want to say yes. I think yes, but I mean, I have nothing to back that up, really.
I love how you put that. We all want to say yes.
Yeah.
Because we do. Yeah, I'd be the same person. I would have the same relationships with the few people that are hanging out with me on a day-to-day basis. Of course I would. Because you want to be that guy that has that commitment to your community, you know? But sometimes I worry. I'm like, maybe that wouldn't happen. Maybe all of a sudden you'd be kind of a douchebag.
It's been a goal in the back of my mind since I started this journey, though. That's always been like forefront of who I want to be, is somebody that, like, and obviously, once again, I can't be friends with 30,000 people if I get to that point or something, right? But I've always wanted to, at least the people who were there when I started, like, if they say hi in a Discord and say like, hey, how's it going? Like, you know, I'm really happy you succeeded. I don't want to just be like, they're just talking to me because I'm big now. Like, I want to be like, hey,
those little peons were here in the beginning. I don't care about them anymore. Like,
yeah. And I don't know if I would like help them in the sense of like growing them as a streamer or something, but I would like to think that I would take the time and be like, hey, Darth, yeah, it's been years since we chatted or whatever. Like, you know, thanks for saying, you know, the kind words. Hope all's well. Like, love to play a game with you sometime or whatever. You know, like, whatever. Just be a decent human being. Like, but I mean, you can't help everyone grow. And I was gonna bring up a new point of a subject I just kind of came to mind, is like,
okay,
I now recently, you know, we all wish like 3 months after you're streaming, now you're at 1,000 viewers, right? You're like, oh yeah, that's gonna be so easy. I'll make it big. Part of me's happy it doesn't work like that.
Oh, wow. I can agree with you on a snap judgment just hearing. Yeah, I can agree with that 100%, because the effort it takes. So I'm a firm believer of, if you get something too easily, you don't appreciate it, really.
Yeah. I just think it humbles you a little bit. It makes you realize, you know, like, the journey. And I also think you grow in like a different way. And I don't mean number wise, like, you know, like,
as a person, as
you
a
just,
hardworking
you just
individual.
learn. Yeah. You learn like what it took. You learn like how to do things. You know, you had to stumble across experimenting or trying different platforms, or I mean, I wish it was a little faster, but or more clear cut of what you had to do. But you know, like, I think it's nice that you actually have to like kind of grind, if you will.
Like, what form do I have to put my email address in that emails me back and has the magical Twitch formula? You see all those stream coaches. I even considered doing one of the stream coaches little I guess classes and everything like that. I really, really considered it, and I even talked to the wife, and I was like, hey, if I decide to do something like this, can we put it into the budget? Because it was expensive. It's like $500. Yeah. And eventually I decided no, because I was actually accepted into the class, but obviously you're accepted first and then you pay the money, and they gave you a quick little outline of what you would be like, what each course, we'll compare it to like college, what each course would be. And after seeing that little syllabus, I was like, it's all the same information that you see absolutely everywhere. The only thing that they would do is obviously they give you little challenges here and assignments here and kind of drive you forward in a little bit of a way. But
it's like a personal training, right? Like, we all know you have to exercise and eat healthy. We all know that.
It's facts.
Do you need somebody to sit there though and be like, this is what you should eat? You better be running this morning. Remember, you have to run, like, you whatever, you know, like the benefits, you get somebody like up your ass in a way, right? Like somebody who's accountability. You have some accountability. Yeah. But it's not
that's all a personal trainer is.
That's pretty much it. And maybe, they have some knowledge. They have food knowledge you might not have, or the best exercises for XYZ. But if you put the time in yourself, you can Google or ask a professional, like a quick question, or somebody who's already done that. Yeah. Our
resources are basically unlimited at this point.
Sure.
The thing that you pay for really is that person to kick you in the ass. That one person that's going to be like, did you do this today? Okay, now there's a penalty that you really don't have to pay, but you're going to pay it because you want to pay it. Kind of a weird back and forth. I mean, Vitals stated it pretty interestingly.
I was just going to read that, yeah.
The gradual increase in viewers is definitely necessary. Suddenly having 1,000 viewers, that can you imagine? Okay, that if, like I told you earlier, I want to be part of the Tatman army just because it would be kind of cool to have that little team, little hashtag thing on there, whatever, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't even like. What if I did get that? Because Luke has been raided by Tim before, right?
Twice.
I freak out when I'm raided by like 15 people. Can you imagine if your number went from 5 to 2005? And you're like,
I mean, if it's Tim, it's probably higher than that. It could be as high as like 50,000, right?
You're just like, hi.
Technique's in here. I was just gonna say, Technique. I saw you at 2K.
Do you have
today.
A clip of when you pooped your pants? Because I want to see what happened when that raid hit you, Technique. I want to see what happened.
Was it Tim?
Have to go watch.
Technique is also part of the Tatman Army. He was on our episode, two episodes ago?
Yeah, so he's part of the W Key podcast, and they were.
So both... he did say it was Tim, and it was today. So there you go. He pooped himself.
He pooped himself. I would do the same. Like so Luke has raided me before with like, I want to say it was like 30 people or something like that. And I was playing Destiny or something at the time, completely not like barely paying attention to chat because whatever, chat wasn't really active. So obviously I was doing something completely different at the time, right?
Yeah.
And then I look over and I'm like, oh my God, I just got raided.
I don't want to alarm you right now, but Technique, it does say hosted us for 1,092 people.
I only see 31. No, it's fine. We're about to poop ourselves, right? Technique, we're going to have the same reaction that you had, but
we're being put to the test. Thank you so much, Technique, for that. No, thanks for thinking of us.
That can't actually come at a better time, but I feel like the interesting thing is like Vitals hit it on the head. Like a gradual increase in your viewers is very, very good for you because then you progress over the period of time where you're comfortable with like, oh, I got 2 more recurring viewers. I got 3 more this time. I got 4 more, 5 more, whatever it may be, right? You gradually, it's kind of like public speaking in a way. You don't see them necessarily, but if you do a presentation in front of one person, you feel okay. And then you put 5 people in the room, you're like, okay, I feel a little awkward, but it's easier because I've been through it before. And then 10, and then 20, and then just keep increasing that number, and eventually you're doing a whole performance in front of millions. Like, can you imagine what it's like for a music artist to look out on the crowd and be like, oh, there's
T Swift or somebody.
Like, there's 50,000 people out there just staring at me, all of them looking at me.
Yeah, it's like going from, like you said, you got your one person, your wife or whatever you're practicing in front of, and then you all of a sudden are at Gillette Stadium, like talking to the whole crowd.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think you would handle that very well, right?
It's not about the nerves as much because, as you said, it's online. So yeah, I'd be a little crazy and I'd feel the pressure a little bit, but it doesn't feel real because it's like a bunch of names in a chat. So it's a little different than public speaking.
That's
For
interesting.
me, it's like, I
'cause-
almost don't feel like I've earned it. Like I actually don't want Tim to raid me. I don't say that hoping that he hears me or whatever. Like I've debated leaving the Tatman army because I'm like, if he raids me right now, I don't feel like I'm at the entertainment level I want to be at
Okay.
when that type of crowd comes in. Like I don't feel like I'm ready for that as an entertainer, not as, hey, I'm gonna poop myself because I'm scared.
Okay. Well, so I kind of look at it differently where I agree with you that it doesn't feel like public speaking because you don't physically see the people. But when all of a sudden you see chat just start and it's just rolling through and you like, even though you have it full length of your monitor, you can't even read the message before it's already off the screen. You're like, what the heck is happening right now? Like, what do I do? Like, that's what would get me. It wouldn't be the fact that there's so many people there, because I guess technically speaking, they probably already know what to expect because they're like, oh, this streamer only had this many people sitting here, 5 viewers. He's obviously not going to be prepared for a 1,000-person raid. I understand that. Like we as viewers,
day, so they know.
right? But me as the content creator, I would just see the chat just rolling through and go, I don't even know what to do now.
Yeah. Let me try to read all these messages.
And then you're like,
I think you just get up and Fortnite dance. That's all you do. You Fortnite dance until you're tired, and then you
you
call
have
it a
to
day.
have one of those cute videos where you're like, hold on, recompose, just roll out of there and just have some kind of like pre-made video to introduce yourself. Because do you do the thing when you get rated where you're like, oh, I'm back in Noodle Arms, I play Destiny and I do this and I do that and you can catch me whenever I feel like it. Like the intro, if you will. I was doing that for a while and it just felt weird. It was like,
I think it is kind of nice. Like I've been in, I've obviously been in a raid that I jumped into a random channel I didn't know, and the person actually told me what they're about. It's a little nice because then know, like, if they say, hey, I play, I don't know, some game you hate. All I play is Civilization, all day, every day.
All day.
I'm not going to follow. It's not that I don't like the person, but I'm never going to watch that game personally. People can love it. That's fine.
Yeah, sure.
But
sure.
if they say, oh, I'm playing Civ today for the first time, I typically play Destiny, right? Like, I might be inclined to be like, oh, I'll follow because I'll check you out when you're playing a game I like.
Okay.
So it is nice to hear who they are a little bit, but I agree. It's weird to be like in the middle of something or you were already talking to somebody in chat and you're like, I'll thank them, of course, but I don't want to give like a 5-minute spiel about I was born in this year on this hill, like
right.
I just feel like it's I don't know. It feels weird, like you said. You get used to anything on stream. Streaming felt weird at first, but
that's true.
You get used to it.
I mean, we talked about in one of our episodes the difference between streaming and YouTube video recording, because you had to do a YouTube video where you had like touch points and you had to do all these different key things within that video, and you said it felt really weird. And I actually, I mean, I like YouTube only because I get to redo things, and then I actually find that when I mess up and I put that gag reel together, or like the blooper reel together, that's better than the actual content. Like seeing you mess up repeatedly trying to do something, and you mix it in with a little bit of the successes, but when you see the mess ups, it's like, okay, human, normal. Like, yeah, it's weird to like talk into a lens, kind of, right? Or at least I think it is. Like even though when I see your screen name, I know exactly what you look like. I talk to you on video chat all the time, but sometimes it just feels different to talk to your screen name than to talk to you. It's an interesting difference that I've noticed. What?
We're talking about the being bad at introducing ourselves. We had a host.
We didn't even
thanks
introduce
for the
ourselves.
Flyers Rule and Full Screwdriver. This is a podcast. This is actually on all podcast platforms as well. GG Weekly Podcast. You can find it anywhere that we could find. So, Apple Music,
I looked up the Big Ten.
Yeah. Actually, so if you enjoyed this episode at all, if you enjoy streaming, gaming, information, we have 12 other episodes similar to this one. Some better, some worse. Take your pick. But I was wondering what the command was. So there we go. If you like what you're hearing, these are all, except for YouTube, just audio. YouTube is actually, I believe,
YouTube is the full video. Yeah, it's the full video. The first couple episodes are not, but I started to upload we have it, so why not? We do like to kind of stick around an hour and a half so that we're not going too long for the podcast listeners and things like that. So we're going to kind of wrap it up here. But you can find us on all platforms, GG Weekly Podcast. But
and then we stream here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern until, like you said, about 9:30. Ranges a little bit. And yeah, that's my spiel.
I actually have a question to spring on you that we hadn't talked about off air quite yet. So I was actually toying with the idea of GG Weekly Podcast also doing some Let's Plays that we host together.
Okay.
Where we squad up a little bit, and like maybe you can take the Destiny community, I can take the Call of Duty community, and we can kind of work it out together so that we stream on the GG Weekly Podcast actual Twitch channel. How do you think that would be a fun idea to bring the community together a little bit?
I would definitely want to discuss it more. It sounds interesting. My only concern, obviously, is one more thing I'm scheduling. That's not my own
Mr.
channel.
Noodles doesn't like scheduled things.
I hate schedules, and I also, because right now I am actually in the stream game. Like I want to try it. I want to give it the real
I'm actually
try.
really excited. I'm excited for you to actually push forward and go for it, because I think I'm amused when I watch your channel, even though it's not that I'm amused by the game, but I enjoy the chat with you. Now we have a friendship outside of that world, so I think it's going to be good, and I'm excited for you to jump into that game a little bit more.
I've been making Instagram posts every day, not gaming related Instagramming, just to let you know, it's life stuff. I may throw in some clips, but I kind of like just sharing my life. That's kind of what stream's about too, is and a podcast. We talk about our real life too. So Instagram's mostly just going to be things I found pretty or what I did for the week. But just kind of being, like you said, diverse, being on all the platforms. And I do want to learn a little bit of video editing. So who knows? Maybe YouTube will happen.
I know a guy.
I know. I probably will ask you some questions soon, because I take a lot of Destiny clips. I play a lot of Destiny. Be cool to make some sort of something,
Okay, well, let's shut it down for the evening. Thank you, everyone. Technique, I really appreciate that raid that you got us, or the host, Doesn't it say host even though it's a raid typically?
So
isn't that how it works?
You can do either. You can /host.
Okay.
The difference is a raid actually brings all of the viewers to your channel automatically, even if they're lurking. A host, they actually click the channel.
That makes sense. Okay. Well, I appreciate that, Technique. Thank you very much. Maybe we can get you guys back on our podcast again, or we can be part of your podcast at some point in the near future. I do have one single announcement. Unsure what's going to happen that week, but I am going on vacation the week of July 20th, so Justin and I will touch base, but I think the options are either we're going to cancel that show, or you could always pull a guest on and just host it with the guest if you'd like. We'll talk about that later, so please look for an announcement on our Twitter account at GG Weekly Podcast, and other than that, I'm live tomorrow night at 6:30. Probably going to be doing the just chatting thing, and let's be honest, it'll probably be Call of Duty again. When are you live again there, Justin?
Tomorrow, I should probably go live around noon.
Okay. Well, I'll catch you.
Bag of noodle arms.
Actually, tomorrow I won't be able to catch you. I got one of those all-day quarterly meetings, and I'm super excited about it, but yay. So anyway,
Yay.
I appreciate you guys all being here. Technique, thank you so much for that host, and everyone, thank you for being in the chat. But we will see you next week at 8 p.m. US East on Wednesday again. Stick around. We are going to find someone to raid within the community, so hang out for a little bit, and we will see you next week. Good night.
Good night.